Blackfacts.com presents Native American Icons, Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull was born in 1831 in what is now called South Dakota. The son of an esteemed Sioux warrior named Returns Again, Sitting Bull looked up to his father and desired to follow in his footsteps. At the age of 10, he killed his first buffalo. 4 years later, he fought honorably in a battle against a rival clan. He was named Tatanka, a Lakota name that describes a buffalo bull sitting on its haunches. Much of Sitting Bull's life was shaped by the struggles against an expanding American nation. When Sitting Bull was young, he was chosen as the leader of the Strong Heart Society. In June 1863, he took up arms against the United States for the first time. He fought American soldiers again the following year at the Battle of Killdeer Mountain. In 1865, he led an attack on the newly built Fort Rice in what is now called North Dakota. His skills as a warrior and the respect he'd earned as a leader of his people led him to become chief of the Lakota Nation in 1868. Confrontation with American soldiers escalated in the mid-1870s after gold was discovered in the Black Hills, a sacred area to Native Americans that the American government had recognized as their land following the 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty. As white prospectors rushed into the Sioux lands, the American government tabled the treaty and declared war on any native tribes that prevented them from taking over the land. Sitting Bull refused to abide by these new conditions. Sitting Bull's defense of his land was rooted both in the history of his culture and in the fate he believed awaited his people. At a sun dance ceremony on the Little Bighorn River, Sitting Bull danced for 36 consecutive hours and slashed his arms as a sign of sacrifice. At the end of this spiritual ceremony, he informed villagers that he had received a vision in which the American army was defeated. In June 1876, Sitting Bull led a successful battle against American forces in the Battle of the Rosebud. A week later, he engaged in a battle again, this time against General George Armstrong Custer in the now famous battle at Little Bighorn, known as the Battle of the Greasy Grass to the Lakota. There, Sitting Bull led Sioux and Cheyenne warriors against Custer's force and wiped out the American general and his troops. For the U.S. government, the defeat was an embarrassment, and the Army doubled down its efforts to wrest control of the territory from Native American tribes. Sitting Bull led his people into Canada, where they remained for 4 years. Despite the good pay of $50 a week to ride once around the arena, Sitting Bull grew tired of the performances and life on the road. He decided to return to his people. "I would rather die as an Indian than live a white man," he famously said. Back home, in a cabin on the Grand River not far from where he'd been born, Sitting Bull lived his life without compromise. He rejected Christianity and continued to honor his people's way of life. Fearing the powerful chief's influence on the movement, authorities directed a group of Lakota police officers to arrest Sitting Bull. On December 15, 1890, they entered his home. After they dragged Sitting Bull out of his cabin, a gunfight followed, and he was shot in the head and killed. He was laid to rest at Fort Yates in North Dakota. In 1953, his remains were moved to Mobridge, South Dakota, where they remain today. Learn Black history, teach Black history at blackfacts.com.